Welcome everybody to the Scott County Coaches Show. I'm your host Kal Oakes, and we're here with Scott County football coach Jim McKee. Coming into week 3 of the season, so we got a couple of weeks to talk about already. A couple of good wins by the Cardinals, a couple of different style games as they unfolded, but the end result was the same.
Well, Cal, first thing I just wanted to say that I appreciate the opportunity to be on here. I don't really know all the logistics behind this show yet, and if it's going to be on your all's website, is that right, Ryan? It's going to be on your all's website, and then you're going to put it on YouTube, and maybe put a link out on your Twitter account for people to follow and things like that. So anytime I get an opportunity to promote our program, I appreciate that opportunity, and hopefully the time frame works for you guys, and we can continue to do it each week. And it's what, heat index 90 plus when you set up, and hopefully we'll be sitting out here with big sweatshirts and toboggans on in November, getting ready to make a run in the playoffs.
That's the great thing about this season is it's a long journey.
It's been hot too, Cal. We really haven't had very many break days, no. And I sometimes sit back and I think, and I guess if you grow up there, it's all that you know. But high school football in like the Waco, Texas area, Miami, Florida area, where you're looking at temperatures over 90 through the month of October, high humidity. I'd be lying to say if our kids and myself probably won't look a little bit forward to that first day where you feel just a little bit of a chill.
Yeah, even the Friday night games have been.
It was real hot
toasty
down in Pulaski, I thought. Yeah. I don't know how you did on the sideline, but I was real proud of our kids' ability to push through that, and I thought fatigue on Pulaski County's part in the second half was a big part of how well we were able to play in the second half.
Yeah, you've been able to cultivate that depth, not having a lot of two-way starters, or at least having.
Yeah, we really don't play anybody both ways. Kendrick can flip over and play in the secondary when we need him, and Glenn can flip over and play in the secondary when we need him. But in a perfect world, we wouldn't even have that. We don't let anybody play both ways on our freshman or JV team, just because you're trying to cultivate as many players as you can in the program. I think we're at like 134 right now, and so when you hear that number at first, it kind of, you jump back. But we're going to play Moeller of Cincinnati next year. They've got 325. And so we're going to play Elder this year. They dress 97, and only 4 of them are sophomores. So, our program needs to continue to grow. Our program is not where it needs to be in terms of growth and depth, and we're continuing to try to grow that program.
You've had a lot of different kids on the offensive side of the ball make plays, and you haven't had to rely on any one thing. It's been spread wide.
That's kind of been a trademark of what we've done. Not that we haven't had a bell cow before, because we have. Noah last year, Noah and Keith probably combined for, I'd say, over 3,000 rushing yards. But this year, Josh has thrown the ball effectively. Glenn's caught the ball effectively. Our tight ends have caught the ball when they've been thrown to. We've used about 4 backs out of the backfield. Hopefully we can continue to do that. A multiple offense is the hardest offense to stop. Now, if you got a guy like Leonard Fournette and a good offensive line, and maybe they know you're coming right at him, you still can't stop him unless you're Alabama. But, a multiple offense, I know whenever I coach defense and working with our defensive coaches, if you got a quarterback that can run and throw and a team that can run and throw, it's harder to stop a team that does that than a team that is kind of singularly focused.
We kind of saw that the first 2 weeks. You kind of ran the ball at will, especially in the first half. I thought throughout the game, actually, against Tate's Creek. But last week, Pulaski seemed to key on that a little bit and force you to throw the ball.
Well, I think you've got to give them credit, too. I think that you got to sort of know where you are and where you fit on the food chain. And when we put the Elder game on the schedule, my thought process is, what is there possibly to lose? A game? We might lose a game. That's it. And so I think you got to give Pulaski County credit for that. What is there for them to lose in that game? Everybody in the state expects us to win. All our players expect to win, and their players probably expected to lose. All their parents probably told them you're going to lose. So you got to give them a lot of credit. Their coaching staff got their players believing, and you're right. I thought they came out early in the game and really took it to us, hit us in the mouth, and we didn't punch back very good.
It's hard to go on the road against a team that's hungry like that.
And I think they deserve a lot of credit. Now, our kids obviously deserve credit for being able to bounce back. And I think when a team comes out of the gate that slowly, you get to something where you've got to self-reflect as a coach. Whose job is it to get the team ready to go? The sports writer in town? The guy at the coffee shop? The principal? or me? And, you know, I got an F. I hope it's not the end of the 9 weeks.
So did your halftime talk get an A+, or what was it? Was it the kids?
Well, I mean, honestly, you know, we had a great chance there right before the half to take the lead, and we got a silly penalty that made it 2nd and long, and we had the ball up past midfield. But no, I just thought Sam's interception was the spark. So he deserves credit for making a great break on the ball, running it in, and sparking us. And then obviously when we blocked the punt, I felt like from then on, you know, the ball was 100% on our side of the line.
Yeah, sometimes momentum is an intangible thing, but when
it's hard to stop it.
When you guys made those 2 plays, you could feel it in that stadium.
And you feel it early in the game against us?
Yeah, it did. When it turned quickly. But you kind of got to guard against that when you get a big lead. I mean, that was kind of a lesson to your team too, both ways really. Is that later in the season, if you have the strong first half, you got to guard against that letdown.
Absolutely, and you know that's something I was upset about in the Tates Creek game. You know, just that we had an opportunity to get it to a running clock in the first half and be done with it and move on, and we didn't do that. You're right. Now our kickoff coverage was very poor against Tates Creek, and it really improved against Pulaski County. Paul Raines is running our kicking game, and he had been using the kickoff coverage that we had used in the past here. He had some ideas and some thoughts about some stuff he had done, and so we changed up our kickoff coverage last week, and I thought it was outstanding.
Playing one of the historic programs in the state of Kentucky this week in Highlands, what challenges did they present?
Killed us when we went up there. I don't know if Ryan was here yet. I can't remember how long Ryan's been here, but 2012 we went up there and mishandled the opening kickoff of the game, started the 1st and 10 on our own 5, punted 3 plays later, and about 2.5 hours later they had 600 yards of offense and over 60 points. And probably, I would say, the most humbling defeat we've ever had. And in the modern era, you know, in the last decade, just killed us. So, you know, hopefully we're going to play a lot better up there this week. It's a tough place to play. They're extremely well coached. They've got great tradition. I'll bet you if they got, I think I counted 96 kids on the varsity roster. I bet 50 of them's dad played for Fort Thomas.
And there's something to be said for that tradition. You can't.
And that's what we're trying to establish here.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we want to establish here. You know, I mean, I'm not going to do this forever. You know, I mean, I don't beat around the bush in conversations with you. I don't beat around the bush, period. You know, I mean, I'm 46 years old. I don't foresee being here when I'm 60 years old. And I hope the coach that they hire after me is a better coach than me. And I hope he can build the program to even stronger than we have it right now, so that 20 more years down the road, after the 20 years that I've been here, 40 years of that the same kind of tradition will exist at this high school. You know, I watched I don't know if you all caught this or not, but did you by any chance catch all the weekend games on ESPN?
Yeah, some of them.
Oh, man, they're unreal, aren't they? IMG Academy was playing Grayson, Georgia. Colquitt County was playing. Remember, in the Hoover two-a-days thing has been 10 years ago, and I wore a Hoover hat on the sideline on a Friday night 10 years ago, just because, you know, I'm working with our kids, our community, our school leadership. Why can't Scott County play on ESPN 5 years from now? I mean, why can't football be so important in this community and the team be good enough that we can't get in a matchup that's on ESPN? So I want to continue to grow our program like that, you know, and that's why we're playing Fort Thomas Highlands. That's why we're playing Elder. That's why we're going to turn around and play Lafayette. You know, when I first started coaching, I would almost panic when we would lose. I would almost panic when we get behind a couple scores in the game, because instead of thinking about coaching, I'd think about, oh gosh, we're going to lose. You know, sometimes you get a bad bruise or black eye or bloody nose, or you throw the old forearm shiver on me. But I recover from that stuff.
Yeah, if losing's the worst thing that happens,
yeah, I want to continue to grow. So it'll be great. I don't know if you ever been there.
Never have.
You'll like it. I mean, if you love football, you'll like the atmosphere, and it'll be fun. And I hope now we need to come out and play better.
Yeah,
play a more complete game. I think I've seen good signs in the first game, here and there. Good signs in the second game, but I think you would agree. Have we played a complete game? No, not yet.
Scott County plays Highlands in Fort Thomas Friday night, 7:30. Hope you can make it there. We also spoke to a couple players, Cooper Watts and Kendrick Hamilton, about this week's game and about the season to date. Let's see what they had to say.
The players have really bought in. The coaches they know what they're working with, and they're doing a great job with us, and the coaching, and they know how much experience we have on Friday nights, and they're doing a great job with us.
We had a slow start in Pulaski. It was our first away game of the season, and we kind of had to break ourselves in there.
Sam Sutton got that pick. That turned the whole game around for us, I think. The offense started clicking. The defense kept reading their keys. And Pulaski got tired too, and us being in shape definitely helped a lot.
Kendrick Hamilton and Cooper Watts told us what they think it will take to extend the winning streak to 3 when they go to Fort Thomas Highlands on Friday night.
We're going to have to execute our plays and get down the field and be able to block and run the ball.
Coach Monty and the defensive coaches have been telling us to just come off hitting, and like you said, it'll snowball effect on the rest of the game.
The players say they're happy with the 2-0 start, but are not satisfied.
We all need to improve every day, week by week. We need to all improve, and yes, a lot of stuff needs to be done. We need to block a little bit better each week and get it a little better.
We got a lot of physical guys, young but physical, and they're ready to learn, eager to learn.